time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out, Deshaun Watson. This is a sight that NFL fans everywhere are happy to see his return to the playing field.
Brandon, it's always nice when you get recognized with an individual award. And he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. But when you do it in a win, so much the better.
Absolutely. And he was all talking about that win, not so much the award he received on Wednesday.
And it's a nice-looking award. I wonder if he took it home, got out of the car, showed it off to the kids in the neighborhood, passed it around. What he did with it.
That one complete to Anderson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 6 there on first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They go play action here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Will Fuller is one of the young flyers in the NFL and gets to top speed in just a couple of steps, so everyone has to respect the deep game because he'll blow past people in a hurry. But what that does is leaves open space underneath. He can take the short pass, turn it into a bigger game because he makes people miss. If he takes care of his hands and doesn't drop a pass or 2 in a game, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league.
And some room to maneuver. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Fighting to stay upright. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 7 catches, 81 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated,
Salivated.
Yes, stretch, dreamed, going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch everyone thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32 in that category. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Domata Peko, the one to get him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on second is Watson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. It'll be Case Keenum leading the charge, making his first start in a Bronco uniform here in this one.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Roger, roger, roger. There goes the hot. Hey, Queen. Hey, orange, orange. Orange, orange.
Now Keenum. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A Bronco first down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Fulfilling his immense promise now is Jadeveon Clowney, who had 9.5 sacks in 2017, the most in his 4-year career, and he's added consistency to his game. Back-to-back seasons he's gone to the Pro Bowl, and they use him at defensive end, outside linebacker, stand him up almost like an inside linebacker to rush the passer. He is hard to stop when he gets a head of steam going.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Hey, orange! Orange!
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. Steps away to his left, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. From the end zone, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Able to fight through one tackle. Room here to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Watson on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Back 22!
Throwing again is Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. On 1st down, Watson. Being chased out left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Back 22! Back 22!
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at him.
He finds his target, Fuller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 2nd down, here's Watson. That's complete right around the 8. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right
Still
tackle.
2nd down.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's brought down after a good gain. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
And they've got it here with a 1st down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. Forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And a look now at Lamar Miller. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Derek Wolfe in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Tiger! Blue ready!
Off of play action, it's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long. It's Watson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
This is brought in at the 21. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. So the Broncos coming out now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The drive starts with Devontae Booker. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Keenum. Flush to his right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Keenum to throw on 3rd and 1. Over the middle, complete. It's Bird. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. DJ Reader coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Keenum. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Faking the give. Now Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Marshall coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Down! Black 22!
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Watson throwing on 3rd and long. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it down out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Roger, Roger, Roger. I go, Roger. 20. 22. 22. Roger, Roger, Roger.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
53.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Freeman. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Throwing on third down, Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On is the punter, King, to send it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw on second is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Watson now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. And that's complete. It's Ellington. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Tremaine Brock. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Keenan. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw on second down, Watson. Flushed out right, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a handoff to Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return, it's McKenzie. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now Case Keenum in the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fends him off. Dancing to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case,
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. But despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll be 2nd and 11. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Now Keenum buying time to his left. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. They'll try to run with Booker. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Devontae Booker with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Watson on first down. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Watson. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Miller. Shoves him aside. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, what the quarterback has to do, make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And that is incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second down, here's Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Keenum will try again on second down. They set up the screen to Booker. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
From the 50, it's Keenum. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Zach Cunningham able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Keenum throwing on second. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't have to make contract time.
That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here. It's close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
The first throw for the backup Lynch. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go.
Once again, it's Lynch. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And McManus able to put it through, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. Well, the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Now it's Ellington to return. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a look now at Lamar Miller. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Now Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Griffin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Caught here by Griffin. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Watson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Lynch will lead up the Broncos here with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
No. Check, Patriot! Patriot!
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
All right, here we go. Boom!
Lynch here off the bootleg. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. All right, now. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did, a lot of people undrafted, and has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Watson. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, Lynch. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on third down. Lynch. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
4 yards on the dump off at second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Off the bootleg, Lynch. And his throw is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On third down, Lynch. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Lucky 56. Set. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here we go now. Detroit.
On first down, it's Lynch. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Gone. Set. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open.
but you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's Foreman. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, it's Watson. His pass caught at the 4. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A carry for Foreman, and he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Holding. Offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Lynch to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is down to 2. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.